the different responsibility about the structurals which is the growing and its associations and its determining for their face efficiency after 1947, which is the different challenges which is facing like India, like the partition of India and Pakistan, which have the different disruption of the social rights and the communal rights, which is going through in 1947 and after so on. The different challenges, which is like the defense and the food insecurity, the challenges like the different communal imbalance they have. It is the responsibility about the proper constitutionalization and its reformations which have proper policy and its execution of rules and its regulation in defining for the structurals in the independence nation like India after Republic India 1950 and the transformation of different constitutionalization and its reformations. The beginning of very difficult for the Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, and the different disruptions and challenges like the food insecurity, also have the social insecurity and its education defense and many more, which is the interruptions and its balance for their cooperative advantage, like the many further the challenges like the interruptions and way and its efficiency. The role in it's defining for we have seen like India in 2026. There is a different opportunity for our youngsters and different community and different way of the societal reformations. But in we are just talking about 1950 and 1980. Just we are facing like different conflicts like the Indo-Pak in different ways, and Indo-China is also the rule of different deficiency. Also have the emergency which is taking place about the optimistic way and its a balance for their cooperative advantage for their different regardless and its a prosperity for their structurals. But the despite of the progressive structurals, we are just conservative about the structurals and its resources for their fundamentals natures, and it's a different way and its balance for their challenges. The efficiency and its growing for their requirement and its phase efficiency, which is the progressive for their efficiency and its distributes for their different role in its regulatory having about the structural sort of democratizing like the 1975 and 1977. So we have just facing like the emergency sterilizations and different political instability, which is the censorship of press, and it's talking about the structurals. But the we and our youngstering, we and our ancestors, which they were facing in the challenges, the interruption and its role for their different presence of work efficiency, and it's determining for their uh, greatest approach for the revolutionizing the process, and it's a greater efficiency for their different organization of the balance of the capacity. In the 1991 we have seen the liberalization like the LPG liberalization, privatization and its globalization. The Indian economy is open for the worlds, and many MNC which visited in India, the transformation of economy, employment opportunity, the structurals for the education is also boosting about the way for the different household, which is transformation of youngster in different sectors like economically, like the socially and its politically enhancement in different perspectives for their different way, and it's a balance for their cooperative and its societal reforms. In 1995 the internet is which is coming in throughout India, not only throughout India, in just we talk about in Mumbai the transformations, and it's a gradually roles and it's a balance for their cooperative advantage, the balance for the societal and its reformations in the challenges like the beginning of the technology mass transformations, like the needs of MNC company like the services and its technology association machinery and hardware and software, which is transformations. But despite of the different way, we have just tried to determine the factual transformation of different way and different challenges, the occupancy of working, the process for the different distribution, its challenges for their defining, and its a balance for their cooperative. Basically, the challenges is not stopping any persons in their life, just be the committed about the work. They just transformation their knowledge and its authenticity for their working, and it's basically for their transformation in different regardless, and it's prospectus for their ideologically. And if we further about the 2000, which is a division of Jharkhand and its Bihar, which is the ecosystem which is developing throughout the India, and its politically instability, transformations of economy, and its social regulations which is happening for the despite of different disruptions, and its cooperations, and its coordinations which is the defining. But the beginning of facing of different insecurity, social dilemmas, inflations, unemployments, and challenges which is the defining and its association. But the despite of the working capacity, favorable as structurals, and the transformation of a different way, and its balance for their cooperative advantage, transformations of knowledge, the economy transformation, and it's a gradually responsibility in different regardless, and it's a prospectus for their ideologically way of the balance, and its capacity for their requirement, like the 2004 the transformation of different way, 2005 the RTI, the introduction introductions in the regardless of the way for the informations which is finding for any ordinary peoples by the government of India, and the how the operation of the government which is going throughout, and the formations, and it's basically for their challenges, and the occurrence for their societal, and it's basically for their transformation needs for their occupancy, and like the 2000 for the global crisis, and we are disruptions physically, mentally, and socially, and also by the mentally, and it's economically the transformation, and it's we just try to move, and it's run, and also fasting runs and grow for the facing of the interruption of global challenges, and it's basically for their transformations, the growth and its efficiency, cooperative and its societal foundations, and its balance for their socially and its economically association, and it's a assertive governing government execution of work, the phase for their transactions, the growth and its balance for their regulatory, and its a transition for their societal, the cooperative advantage, and it's a is for their efficiency, and it's a growth for their regulatory, and it's a challenges for their defining association. We are just a balance for their supplementary. We are just a balance for the supplementary, and its ideologically the transformation of different regardless, and it's a prosperity for their ideologically the depth, and its influential association, the structurals about the foundation, and its a growth for their different regardless, the phasing about their cooperative and its societal foundations, and its a role and its regulatory for their challenges for their defining, and its association for their regulatory, and its challenges for their independence. And if you talk about the independence of India, 1947 also have independence of India 2014, which is considered about the famous actor Kangna Ranaut. They she talk about we are independence in 2014, but it is literally a gossip in the media, and she just try to say about the formation of a new government which is current governments, and they just joking, they just joke about the how the previous government working, and how they feel like insecure. But in our country no one is feel like insecurity like previous government and the current government. They just be facing like insecurity like the like the different way of the necessary works, necessary needs, and necessary work efficiency, the challenges for their digital mining. But in 2040, we have seen the different way of the technology cooperations, human development, and the transformation of economically opportunity which takes place, and different way of the challenges like the education is also lacking behind. We all Indian are determining thinking about the structurals, but the progressive way of the balances and its a capacity for their neutralization. We just try to influential association and its a structural for their growth efficiency, balance for their neutralization and its a greater efficiency for their challenges and its advantage. We and its balance for their transformation and its neutralization for their facing, and it's basically for their different way for their efficiency, and it's a way for their challenges and its cooperative advantage for their society. It is the balances for their neutral efficiency, growth, and its regulatory for their transformation. The balance for their neutralization and its effective part of the approach, which is the greater efficiency. And we have think about we India is leadership under G20, G7, Olympic, and BRICS, which is also going through in 2026, last quarter of 2026. So the transformation of economically, politically, and becoming the global superpowers, which is happening. Just we are cooperate for the political government support for the systems, and it's follow for their naturals happening for their different way, and it's a balance the transformation and its a growth and its a occupancy for their different way, and its a challenges which is happening throughout, but the supporting and its ideologically which is happening, and it's a greater balance for their reliable way and its approaches. लाइन भी कट गया, चलो कोई बात नहीं, इतना ही पर सेटअप को बंद करते हैं, फिर कल ट्रेड किया जाएगा. ट्रेड मीन्स लाइक द वे ऑफ डिलीवरिंग मैसेज.